One peaceful evening, when everything felt calm, quiet, and still, the day was slowly coming to an end. As the sun slowly began to set behind the hills, its golden light gently faded across the sky. The sky turned into beautiful shades of orange, pink, and soft purple, creating a breathtaking view. The gentle waves sparkled under the fading light, moving softly as if the sea itself was at peace. Birds flew quietly across the sky, returning to their nests as night slowly approached. And slowly, the whole world became calm, silent, and full of peace. Jesus Christ stood by the shore, calm and peaceful, looking out over the water. His disciples gathered around him, ready to follow wherever he would lead. After a long and tiring day, they were ready to rest. Jesus gently said, "Let us go to the other side." Without hesitation, they stepped into a small wooden boat. The boat began to move slowly across the calm water. Everything felt safe, quiet, and peaceful. But suddenly, everything began to change. Dark clouds filled the sky, covering the light. A strong wind began to blow, growing louder and stronger. The waves rose higher and higher, surrounding the boat. Huge waves crashed against the boat, and the storm became fierce. The disciples were terrified and filled with fear. The boat rocked wildly as they struggled to hold on. They cried out, "We are going to drown." But in the middle of all this chaos, something unexpected was happening. At the back of the boat, Jesus was sleeping peacefully, completely calm. The disciples rushed to him, desperate and afraid. "Teacher," they cried, "don't you care that we are about to perish?" Jesus slowly opened his eyes and stood up calmly. He looked at the wind and the raging waves, without fear. Then he raised his hand, with power and authority. And he spoke, "Peace, be still." Suddenly, the wind stopped. The waves settled down, becoming calm again. The storm disappeared, and peace returned to the sea. The disciples stood in silence, completely amazed. They looked at each other, filled with wonder and disbelief. "Who is this?" they whispered softly. "Even the wind and the waves obey him." Jesus looked at them gently and spoke with calm wisdom. "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" That day, they learned a powerful lesson. Even when life feels like a storm, when everything around you seems out of control, when fear begins to take over your heart, and you feel lost in the middle of it all, remember this: faith is always stronger than fear, and even the smallest faith can bring the greatest peace when you choose to trust, instead of being afraid. Because with Jesus by your side, no storm is ever too big, no wave is ever too strong, and no fear can ever overcome you, for he brings peace, even in the middle of the storm.